Welcome back everybody to Forza Motorsport. So we're continuing on with the Fox Body Challenge. So our next race is going to be at Mid-Ohio. So let's see what many laps. So we've got 6 laps and yeah, it's looking like it's going to be mostly a dry race. So let's see what performance upgrades we can give this car. Now we've obviously got some more CP after our last couple of races. So yeah, platform and handling maybe, because although to be fair, we do have a fair decent amount of handling and braking right now, so maybe a little power. Let's give it a boost in power. So what do we can get up to? 246. 255 seems like a nice round number. I don't think we can really do anything else. Can we bump up our tires at all? Yeah, we can. So we'll so we've got faster acceleration now, but we also have slightly better in the way of handling now as well. So, yeah, not the most amount of upgrades ever, but a decent amount. So, yes, should help us in this race. So let's get there and see what happens. Right, so we're starting off in 12th to give us a decent challenge. Fuel and tyre, right. Drop it way down. 25% do. Right, so hopefully it will do well, but the first place seems to be on medium tyre compound, which we're certainly not on, so might well be a little bit outdone in terms of handling with some of the cars, but I still feel like we've got a good, decent amount of handling on braking on the go. Well, we've also got now 255 horsepower, which is a fair decent amount. A car that doesn't weigh a huge amount. Braking there, but there we go. So yeah, the recent update has been released for this game, update number 4, although I have found some bugs involved with that update. Replays, for instance, do not seem to load after you save them, so you can only view them immediately after a race. If you save them, then they will crash the game, and yeah, you can't view them at all. Also found that while racing the Aston Martin Valkyrie for one of the championships that rotate and come in and out of the game every now and then, had a glitch where
total time penalty is about half a second.
I did not mean to hit the guy and knock him off, so we'll rewind that, make it a little bit fairer. Yeah, the Aston Martin Valkyrie basically, even though it only had 5% fuel, which is obviously not a lot for a car that has that amount of horsepower and such a large engine. Well, I say large engine, it's not the biggest of engines you can get, but it's hardly, you know, only a 1.1 litre engine in a hatchback at the end of the day. But still, even at only at 5% fuel, it was getting nearly 200 laps on something like Silverstone. So, yeah, that's definitely another glitch that has appeared. I'm not sure if that was already there before the update or not, but the replay's not loading and crashing the game certainly was something that wasn't occurring before the update. So yeah, that's a big issue, especially for me, because obviously I do some videos that are focused on, well, user replays. So yeah, that's why the Pagani Huayra R at Daytona was out a little bit later than it would have normally been yesterday, because yeah, I did the replay. Figured I had plenty of time to get the replay shot and uploaded, but then when it came to actually loading the replay, it just would not load. So I had to do the 2-lap race again and then view the replay from the end race menu. It's the only way I could do it. So yeah, that was really quite annoying. So yeah. Seems like even when they try and fix something, I'm not sure what the update was for in terms of fixes. Apparently it was only minor stuff, but it was still nearly 10 gigabytes, I think it was, or something like that, which is obviously quite a lot, so it can't be that minor at the end of the day for that amount of gigabytes, and yet doing fixes apparently broken other things, so yeah, I can't overly trust the stability of this game, quite frankly. Whether or not it's fixed any of the online issues, we'll have to see. Yeah, online definitely has some of the more egregious issues, especially when it comes to crashing you out of the race before it even starts, even though you've just done all of your practicing and qualifying. That's more annoying than most things, to be honest, because when you're doing those kind of qualifying and practice laps and whatnot, you spend a fair decent amount of time doing them. If you're starting out in the event from the beginning or even halfway through, you're spending a good 10-15 minutes at the very least, so yeah. Pretty sure first place is the one with the medium tyre compound, so yeah, he's going to have a fair decent more handling and braking than we are. Despite us being fairly good, we're certainly not going to be able to keep up with a race tyre cell. Definitely feel faster in a straight line. I think the gearbox might well be something else to change. As well as maybe the suspension and the brakes. Yeah, it still sounds good though. Should sound even better, to be honest, with the improved air filter and improved intake manifold. Been a particularly exciting race though, quite frankly. Past most of the competition in the first lap or so, and yeah, we're basically struggling to keep up with first place ever since. Yeah, that's another problem with this game, is the AI. Pretty sure I mentioned this in the previous episode, but it's one of the main things that the Turn 10 are looking to fix. But yeah, it's, when you consider the amount of, you know, the amount of praise they were singing about the AI and how much better it is over the previous games, for it to pretty much have the same issues as those previous games is really rather disappointing, because cars still break at moments where they really shouldn't be. And then you obviously have AI somewhat being aggressive, especially in the first corner, particularly corners that are quite tight to start with, so, you know, Nürburgring GP or stuff like that. AI are quite aggressive there. Got situations like this where you might have someone on your rear end, but they're all unlikely to catch up, and then you've got someone that's way out ahead in front, which isn't particularly exciting. Pull out ahead of third on the straights. They do seem to have better cornering ability, maybe. Seem to have caught up a little bit on the corner, but as you can see by the little mini map, we are opening up a gap on this straight again. significant one, to be honest. Yeah, we have a fair bit of understeer going into the corners. Which isn't helped by the suspension, which, even though it's probably better than a lot of American cars from the time, especially in comparison to maybe the standard Fox body, it is still quite a softly sprung suspension setup, because it does roll around quite a bit. See, lean, then we level out. Oh dear. Got distracted by the lean.
One more. Finish strong.
Just stay in second, that'll be fine. So it won't harm our points on the championship leaderboard overall too much, I should imagine. Especially if first place isn't, you know, in a good position in the championship standings overall. Third place is really not able to keep up on the straights. Imagine that's in SVO version, given its lack of straight line speed. That long that our lights have finally come on. But regardless, yeah, second place. Not an awful showing by any means. But yeah, that yeah, the 86 Mustang, which I'm pretty sure, like I said, had medium tyres on, has slightly higher PI and, yeah, no doubt slightly better in terms of handling, but still, that has lost us first place. Alright, okay then, so still everything to play for going into the fourth race, as we are now 1 point behind. So, yeah, let's hopefully be able to upgrade some significant parts for this car. I hope we can. Diff, flywheel, transmission, clutch, ignition, driveline, rear wing, bumpers and skirts, and hood. Oakley dokley. Right, so I say suspension. That's a lot of CP, to be honest, for what is no discernible improvement. Yeah, not even our lateral G's have improved there. And we can't quite afford street tyres at the moment either. 100 down on those. Right, we did say we're going to change the transmission at the very least, so we'll change it to a sport one. That does increase our acceleration. We'll knock off a fair few pounds with a race driveline. We'll speed up our acceleration and reduce our weight with the sport flywheel. And then we'll lighten the load and increase the power with an exhaust. Look at how much weight that knocks off, 12 pounds, and gives us 5 extra horsepower and 6 extra pounds-feet of torque, which is pretty good. gives us an even amount. Yep, there we go. Ignition gives us 270 horsepower. So yeah, we've got much better acceleration now, because we now weigh less, but we also have more in the way of power. Right, so let's see where the Laguna Seca full circuit has in store for us. Gonna start off in 12th again. I know obviously skipping up a few places would obviously improve our chances of getting a win, but I also like a bit of a challenge as well. So 12th position seems like a good position to start off in. It's middle of the grid, and yeah, because obviously we do either get a rolling start or the AI are a little bit hectic at times. We can usually take advantage of their inabilities at times to, you know, race in a sportsman-like fashion. So I feel like we've got a fair chunk of power now, so should easily be able to get past the SVOs in a straight line. A little bit of a cheeky pass around there, but it worked, so I'm taking it. Yeah, this seems more of a circuit for this kind of power, to be honest. Being a much wider circuit, got more room to play with and more room to breathe. It's also probably a faster circuit than the Ohio one. See the front left wheel then looking like it was lifting up around that corner. So yeah, the suspension is not the greatest on this. Certainly pushing it way above its pay grade compared to its standard abilities with the standard amount of power. Because obviously we do have more power now, so therefore more acceleration, more speed. And because the tyres are improved, we're able to take corners a lot quicker as well, so yeah, the suspension does need probably a catch up. I feel like we've got the legs on the car in front in a straight line, but the corners are where we are weaker. Oh dear, that's probably going to give us a penalty. Yeah.
Total time penalty is about a second.
Deserved, obviously, but I was hoping I would get away with it. Alas, not to be the case. Oh dear, really screwed that one up. Yeah, I'm trying to overthink it now, just go in as you normally would. There we go. Gaining. The suspension is not doing us that much in the way of favours. Hopefully we're close enough to get some draft and gain on first place.
3 remaining.
It's so much quicker in a straight line. Guess we'll have to just try and wear him down. See, he's not got such better handling that he's, you know, getting a massive gap on us when it comes to the corners. Our acceleration is much greater than his handling is over ours, so we'll get him. Hopefully on the next straight after the finish line. If not before, do we risk it? No. Bide your time, young Padawan. You will get past. Lost a bit of ground after those couple of corners. See, this is what the AI should be like. Granted, it might be because our cars are a little bit different, but this is actually a genuinely good race with the AI for once. Massive amount I want to say there from me. Yeah, this is probably the best race the AI have put up with since starting this game, quite frankly. Again, I think it does come down to the cars. You know, I've got the straight line speed, he's got the handling and the braking. So in some respect it's kind of like, you know, classic British touring car racing where, you know, you had your minis going up against your Mustangs. So yeah, it's actually working for once. Yeah, so yeah. Come on, catchy monkey. Fast for the corners, just clean enough to keep up. Sorry about all the rewinds, but yeah, this car's got some handling quirks due to its suspension being outclassed by its tyres and straight line speed.
Lap. Let's go.
Come on. The AI are quite aggressive when you're on their inside. They will not hesitate to hit you. Come on, don't do the typical AI thing of giving up as soon as I get past. Because you've still got the handling, just because I've not got, just because I've got the straight line speed. Yeah, I think he's given up. Oh well, it was good while it lasted, I guess. Basically just have to nurse this home now. And there we go. That was a pretty fun race up until the last part. But yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, first place in the championship was not in second place there, they were only in third. So they will lose a little bit of ground there. So yeah, now we have first place back. And yeah, we're now 4 points ahead instead of being 1 point behind. So still everything to play for though, to be honest. So yeah, let's get on to the fifth and final race for this championship, which has been overall reasonably fun, especially for, you know, what is a one-make car race. So yeah, we're at Virginia International Raceway for the next one, but we're only on the North Circuit, so there's a bit of a straight, but it's a lot more handling based, that one. So let's try and focus on handling, I guess. So brakes, well, that would eat up a lot of our points if we went for the race ones. The sport ones, for whatever reason, do way more than the street ones, but as you can see, it does give us more in the way of brakes, so we'll go for those. I think we'll finally upgrade the springs. We'll do the front tyres. We have done obviously the back ones, and then we'll lighten the load with a new race flywheel. Not only does it lighten the load, as you can see, by £6, but it means the engine can rev a lot easier. The revs come a lot quicker. So yeah, that's one reason to do that, outside of obviously the weight reduction. Right, so let's see what we can do on this fifth and final race. Right, we're sticking with 12 for this final race, just because it's, yeah, clearly a good position to start from, not just in terms of being competitive, but also in terms of being more likely to provide a fun race as well. So yeah, we'll stick with that. Another rolling start. I don't know why a lot of these championship races have rolling starts, but it is what it is. Maybe it's perhaps to make sure you don't get an advantage by having an all-wheel drive car or something, I'm not sure. Obviously you wouldn't get an all-wheel drive version of one of these without, you know, racing it heavily before starting this championship, but we'll put it past some people to do that. The AI really do not like it when you're on their inside. It's almost like online racing. And they also don't like being not able to be on your inside. Basically what I'm trying to say is they're very aggressive. Way too aggressive. We're into the top 5. Imagine this will be a particularly long race. I don't think it's a longest of tracks. Completely outbraked ourselves there. This is the fastest top speed we've had from this car so far. The car definitely feels a bit more stable through the fast corners now with this new suspension. don't seem to be particularly good at this circuit compared to Laguna Seca. I've not often been around the North Circuit, it's usually the full-blown version of this track that go on. There's loads of ground on 4th place. Another thing that irks me about the AI is the fact that when it gets to this point in the race, as you can see, 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st are all spread out. They're not really racing against one another. Which, you know, is boring. You know, it's never going to shake up the grid if, you know, you're basically just in a queue.
3 left.
If 2nd place is not behind us, then we're going to lose this, I would imagine, this championship, because we're just not gaining any more places. They're in, you know, sight distance, but obviously that's still can be quite far away, so they got the straight line performance, but combination of this perhaps still not having the best of handling compared to the competition, and my lack of experience with this track are not helping. And yes, I did not do the practice whatever 3 laps, but I really doubt 3 laps there would have helped much here. Don't seem to have been able to improve despite already being around 3 times by now. Whoa, what the hell happened there? I did not turn those wheels. Very strange. I'm getting all the understeer in the world. another dead race, pretty much like the Mid-Ohio one. Well, we got a second and a first with our two previous races, but here, yeah, we've ended on a bum note of it, effectively. Obviously, 5th place, the worst position ever. 7 places higher than where we started, and if this was like a first or second race, then yeah, it'd be fine. But last race, where we're only 4 points ahead of second place, yeah, it's not ideal at all. Let's just hope the points work out in our favour. That's all we've got to go going for us, quite frankly, now. So let's see. Yeah, he came first.
Good run out there.
He was in second, so
P5.
inevitably, there we go. So 4 points were separated us before, and now 4 points separate us again, only this time the other way round. So unfortunately, we have not won this championship, but you don't win them all, and yeah, I think that track is what ultimately did it. Obviously, Mid-Ohio was a little bit of a bummer as well, only getting second, which again, if we'd got first in that one, then it might well have been a different story with this race, but still, yeah, just not really used to that track. Maybe the car wasn't also set up well for a track like that either, but yeah, either way, second place is all we've got. So yeah, but nonetheless, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this championship. I certainly have, and a lot more than I expected to, especially considering I'm not typically a fan of championships that only have 1 or 2 cars to choose from. But yeah, ended up being a fun championship overall, and yeah, that Laguna Seca race was pretty damn great for the most part as well. So yeah, but nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.